Hello friends, in this lecture you will learn about the protein. What is protein? Protein is actually the most important nutrients and it is a long chain polymer of amino acids. Many amino acids are present in this chain and that chain is nothing but a chain of a protein. It's actually the macromolecule which have the high molecular weight and hence it is the most important and the abundant component of the cell. So this is protein, the long chain polymer of the amino acids. Means amino acids in a chain is nothing but the molecule of the protein. What are the number of the protein in the different cell of the organism? So number varies from the bacterial cell to a human cell. In the bacterial cell the number of the protein is over 2000, while in the human cell the number of the protein is over 1 lakh. What are the components present in the structure of the protein? All the protein consists of nitrogen in addition to carbon, hydrogen and oxygen, while some other proteins also contains the sulfur and the other elements in addition to nitrogen, carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. What are the functions of the protein? The functions of the protein in the body of the all living organisms it plays the very important role as a constituent of the cell, because it is a very important part of the cell and it forms so many parts in the cell and it forms so many function as a important constituent of the cell. Second function, it plays its role as an enzyme, for example amylase, which convert the starch polysaccharide carbohydrate into the maltose disaccharide carbohydrate. So most of the enzymes are protein, but all the proteins are not enzymes. The third function of the protein is as a hormone. It can also play the role as a hormone. For example, the insulin hormone and the growth hormone are the example of the protein. Now we'll see the general structure or the structure of the protein. What is there in the structure of the protein? In the protein, as you know, the protein is a long polymer chain of the amino acids. So amino acid, it consists of two group, amino group, NH2 group, and the carboxyl group, COOH group. These two group you will see in the amino acid, and amino acids in a chain is nothing but a chain of protein. So in the amino acid, amino group NH2 and carboxyl group COH will be there. So how that chain of polymer is formed? This is one amino acid, this is another one amino acid, this is one more amino acid. So here with the help of these three amino acids I'm gonna explain the chain of polymer or the polypeptide chain of the amino acid of the protein. So this amino acid at its one end it consists of one amino group NH2, and at its other end it consists of other group carboxyl group, that is COOH. How this amino acid will get linked or it will be bind with the another amino acids? This amino acid is also having its amino group NH2 and its COH groups as a carboxyl group. So the NH2 group of one amino acids will release one hydrogen atom, and the COOH group of another amino acids will release the OH group. So this OH hydroxyl group from one amino acids and the H from the NH2 of the other amino acids will bind together and will convert into a water molecule. So two amino acids condensed by the removal of the water molecule by giving hydroxyl group from the carboxyl group of one amino acids and the proton or hydrogen from the NH2 group of the another amino acids. So this two amino acid releasing OH group from one end COH group and the NH from the NH2 H group. So likewise one water molecule is released. What happened after the release of the water molecule? Now this COOH lost its OH group and it's now CO, and NH2 lost its H, so now it is converted into NH. So this CO and NH will bind by the bond known as peptide bond, and these two amino acid will link together by the peptide bond as a CONH linkage. here you can one more time understand. So one more water molecule will remain, um, will release by the and because of the removal of that water molecule, this another amino acids with bind with the one more amino acids. So this NH will lose its H, and the COH of this amino acid will lose its OH. So OH plus H is equal to water molecule, and this amino acid will also get add into the chain of this amino acids. The residue after the removal of the water molecule is nothing but its remnant, and that remnant as a residue, if it is containing two amino acids, that chain is called dipeptide chain. If it is if it contains three amino acids in the chain, that is called tripeptide chain, and more than three amino acids in the chain, it is called polypeptide chain. Protein is nothing but the polypeptide chain of the amino acid. After the formation of the polypeptide chain, in that chain, amino acid at its one end will consist of a free NH2 group. This end is called, at which NH2 group is free, this end is called N-terminal end, as it is having N as a free group at the one end of the amino acids, and any new one amino acid can bind with this N. And at another end, it consists of one more group as a CO, as a free group, and that end is called C terminal end. C terminal end, CO group will be free, and the N terminal end, NH will be free. This is called N terminal end in the chain, this is called C terminal end in the chain, and every new amino acid can bind on the either side of this chain to join it. So likewise, polymer chain containing so many amino acids is formed, and hence protein is nothing but the long polymer chain of the amino acid, which is formed by the linkage of the peptide bond. And as a lot of peptide bonds you will see in the linkage, hence this chain is called polypeptide chain. The amino acids which occur in the protein are glycine, alanine, serine, cysteine, aspartic acid, glutamic acid, asparagine, glutamine, methionine, threonine, valine, leucine, isoleucine, lysine, histidine, arginine, phenylalanine, tyrosine, tryptophan, proline. These are the amino acids which occur in the protein structure. Now we'll see the type of the protein. On the basis of the composition or the structure of the protein, there are two types of the protein. Type number 1 of the protein is the simple protein, while the type number 2 of the protein is the conjugated protein. Let's see the simple protein. Simple protein is the type of the protein in which which consists of only one type of amino acid or its a derivative. Only one type of amino acid you will see in the simple protein, or either its derivative. For example, zein protein present in the maize, or the histone protein. These are the example of the simple protein, which consists of only one type of amino acids, not other type of amino acids or either its derivative. While the conjugated type of the protein, it consists of simple protein, but that simple protein will bind with some non-proteinous part, and that non-proteinous part which will be always with this simple protein. This type of protein is called conjugated protein, which is always found with some other non-proteinous part, and that non-proteinous part linked with the protein is nothing but known as prosthetic group. So it means you will see prosthetic group, that is non-proteinous part in the conjugated protein along with the protein. For example, the lipoprotein, for example the nucleoprotein, glycoprotein, and chromoprotein. In the lipoprotein is the example of the conjugated protein in which non-proteinous part is lipid along with protein. Lipo means lipid. Nucleoprotein, in this nucleoprotein Nucleic acid is a prosthetic group, non-proteinous part with this protein, nucleoprotein. In the glycoprotein, glyco means the example of the carbohydrates. So this protein is there with the carbohydrate, means carbohydrate is the prosthetic group with this protein. While another example is chromoprotein. In the chromoprotein, chromo is nothing but a name of the color pigment, and this pigment together with the protein is one of the example of the conjugated protein. So these are conjugated protein and the simple type of the protein. But you can also see some other types of the protein on the basis of their role or their structure. So it is structural protein, contractile protein, transport protein, and the last type, defensive protein. Structural protein are the type of the protein which is useful for the formation of the part of the cell or the tissue, that is called structural protein. Structural protein, its example is keratin protein. It is present in the hair and the skin. Elastin protein, another example, it is present in the connective tissue. Lipoprotein, it is present in the cell membrane. This is structural protein. Contractile protein is the another type, and in this contractile protein, it is found in the muscles. For example, myosin protein present in the muscles, and it is important for the process of the contraction and the contraction of the muscles. While the third type of the protein is the transport protein, and as you know by its name, the transport protein, it's play its role, or it is used as a important protein for the transportation of the certain materials. For example, the hemoglobin, which is this protein as a example of this transport protein present in the blood, and it is used for the transportation of the oxygen gas. While the another example is the myoglobin, and this myoglobin is also used to transport the oxygen gas, but in the muscles, not in the blood. So these are the two examples of the transport protein, while the another example of the another type of the protein is a defensive protein, and as you know by its name, it is used to it is useful for the protection of the body or protection of the cell against the different diseases. Hence it is called defensive protein, and the example of this protein is immunoglobulin. For example, means nothing but the antibodies which fight against the antigen, that is foreign harmful particles, and make your body normal. Thrombin is the another example of the defensive protein which is used to for the blood clotting. So friends, this is about the protein and its classification and its role. I hope you understand, you understood many more regarding the protein, and please subscribe my channel, like it, share it, and demand your requirement, whatever you want to learn from my side. The maximum, more and more you will subscribe and like and review or view, maximum you will get the material from my sites. Thank you very much.